me, dog. No, you're supposed to hold your lightsaber. DIY friends, welcome back to my channel. Many of you have been asking about my garden updates, and I have been excited to create this video because the gardens have just exploded with life and, in my opinion, love. My wildflower chaos garden is bursting with beautiful flowers of all kind. I almost think I went a little too chaotic on it, but it's just been so fun to see all the colors and flowers come through. Our tomato garden got an upgrade. We built this vertical tomato trellis, which helped so much in the growth. They are just thriving now. Our cucumbers and zucchinis have gone Jurassic.
Life finds a way.
Like, this garden space just brings joy to both Jeff and myself. It's been the best thing we have ever added to our house. Now, I wasn't sure I was going to make this video, but y'all wanted to see Vincenzo's garden in final form. And last time I mentioned I wanted to take all the old pallets we had stacked up at the back of the property and utilize that material to create a charming little garden fence that would surround this defined space. I wasn't sure if I was going to create this year or maybe next, but your support pushed me to get this done and really just see this garden space turn into the ultimate vision that I had for it. So let's upgrade this garden space to be like next level cute. So grab your hot cold combos, my friends, sit back and relax while I go into bustin' pallet time. Editor, roll the tape. Boop. Okay, so I had to do some research because I was trying to figure out what did I want this garden fence to look like, because I kind of needed a direction to know how I was going to build this thing. So I did some inspiration. I'm gonna pull up my inspiration board here for you so you can kind of get a gauge for what I'm hoping to create. All of these photos kind of show a fence that's like kind of rickety. Like, I don't want this to be a perfect looking fence. I don't want this to look like a perfect picket fence. I don't want it to be painted. I want it to be raw wood. And I just want it to look like it's been sitting in this garden space for a very long time, and now it's just this beautiful kind of secret garden-esque looking thing. But as you can see from these photos, like, the fence is very sparse looking. Like, it's not thick. My biggest worry is when I'm sitting up here on this patio and I'm looking out into my greenhouse, that it like removes the view from the garden. I want it to feel as if it's part of the quaintness, part of that cottagecore cuteness. It's very thin and sparse. I think that's the way to go. And then once we have the fence in place, I would love to put little pillars on all four corners and maybe string some string lights across it. I've seen these in like some of my dream inspo photos, and I was like, well, if I'm here to create my dream garden oasis, then I'm bringing in the lights. My husband and I sit out there all the time and we just like stare at the flowers. We just really enjoy it. So I think at nighttime, having the lights out there to really add this like extra bit of magic is just gonna make it feel so magical.
Why waste time? Say lot word when few word do trick.
So what I need to do now is just start pulling out all those pallets and seeing what we're working with, and then we just start deconstructing them all, and then we have our material. I am just praying to the DIY gods that I have enough pallets to create the material that I need, because I do not want to go source extra pallets for this project. That would kind of defeat the point. Now, some of you might be asking, you know, are you worried about defining this area with a fence? How could you grow more in this garden space? And to be honest, for us, it's a hobby. It's just something we like to do. It's not something we live off of. This space, what we're growing right now, is like perfect for us. Sure, we could add some extra little plants and some extra pots and stuff, but like, I don't think it's ever gonna get bigger than this. This is what we can handle, and I don't wanna move past that. So does that make sense? All that to say, what we need to get started on is just pulling out all those pallets, and let's go see what we're working with. I'm gonna finish my coffee too. Okay, wait, before I start anything, we need to do a poop check, because I ain't stepping in poop today. There's a poop. Oh, there's another poop. Okay, we have been de-pooped. Now we can pull some pallets. You gonna sit right there while I do this? Okay. Why does it have to be the hottest and muggiest day on this planet? How was workout? Okay, well, that was gross but we're moving on. What I have here is a Pallet Buster. So last time when I was talking about this idea, you guys mentioned in the comment section, you gotta get yourself a Pallet Buster, Danie. And I was like, what's a Pallet Buster? Then I looked it up and then I found this and I'm like, yeah, I gotta get myself a Pallet Buster. So this little lovely device is going to help me bust apart these pallets with ease, apparently. Every time I expect one of these tools to work for me, it never does. So cross fingers, pray to the DIY gods, and let's get busting. Bust, bust, bust. All right, let's see how well this is gonna go. This one first. I should be able to pop this underneath. Wait, no. I watched a video on how to do this, but he had it so that on the outside, no, the inside. Excellent start, Danie. Okay, well, that's one. It's not what I meant to do. How did he have it?
Once you're positioned, give it a good solid yank, and that board will simply come right off.
Well, his pallets are built differently than my pallets. Okay. Okay. Okay, well, I've done one. I'm already winded. Oh, geez. You're not helping. What do you think, Pup? Dumb idea? Good idea. Oh, now you want to help? Pull, 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 pull. Okay, no, put it in the pile. Okay, new plan. 1, put shorts on because it's way too hot for pants. 2, Sawzall. I don't care what no one says. I gave the Pallet Buster a try. It's not the right size. I clearly need a bigger one. We're going with this because I think this is gonna be the winner. I might ruin this blade, but hopefully I have more. To sit. That was so much work, to the point where I almost think I'm like, was this worth it? Honestly, I'm not quite sure. So I kind of made piles, usable pile, unusable pile, unusable pile. Now the problem is that all of these boards have a bunch of nails in them that I need to take out, which is gonna be a whole other friggin' struggle bus. I definitely got faster at taking these apart when I started ripping one side off and then I was able to pry. The problem with my Pallet Buster was that it's made for 2x4s that are turned on its side when all of these pallets were secured on a flat lay. That definitely would have been less of a struggle if those pallets were built differently, but unfortunately most of them were not. So we just kind of have to start going through this pile and determining which ones make sense to keep. And then I think my hope is to actually, once I get all the nails out to the best of my abilities, I think I might even like slice these in half. They're still too big. So I am gonna have to get my table saw out and slice these, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We got this though, friends. We got this. Just a little bit more of a power through, and then once we get to the actual fence build, it's gonna get a lot easier. We can do this. Well, How about that? I can't believe I managed to get this done. I thought I was going to die. I mean, that's very dramatic, but I can't believe we got those pallets taken apart and we got all of the nails out of them. Like, this is a bigger pile than I was expecting, and I actually ended up foregoing a bunch of pieces that was gonna be more challenging to take apart. I was like, to heck with that. Get off me. But honestly, this is a big pile and I think we can do a lot with it. All these pieces are way too wide, so I actually wanna rip them in half on my table saw. So I'm gonna get that set up and then we're just gonna rip these in half and then we should have all the pieces we need for tomorrow. Good morning, friends. Well, I have to say I woke up this morning with a DIY hangover. What I mean by that, it's like it was just so much heat yesterday that I was just like, my head was pounding, and I call that the DIY hangover because your whole body is just like, I can't move.
I typed your symptoms into the thing up here and it says you could have network connectivity problems.
I have a feeling it is going to be a mighty hot day today, so I need to make sure I'm taking it slow, staying in the shade as much as possible. The goal of today is to build this fence. Now, what I want to do is actually just figure out where my main stakes that's going to build the fence is going to go. And basically, once I figure out the spacing, I'm going to drive these into the ground to make sure that they're nice and stable. And then I'm actually going to screw it into the wood barrier that I kind of created a few episodes back. And then we'll add some cross pieces eventually. But I just want to figure out the spacing. This fence is like definitely more decorative than functional. I have this dream down the line that we would add some wire and then maybe put some chickens inside it, or like some ducks. Ducks are actually really great for gardening because they eat all the bugs that are in your garden beds. And I've been like notoriously following all of this on TikTok, all these people that have ducks in their gardens. And I'm like, I just want a duck in my garden. I want 2 ducks. But then I also need like a fence because I don't want my dog to get the duck. So eventually, maybe one day. So let's start putting these down. Let's get our spacing and then we can actually start driving these into the ground. What do you think, Pop-Up? You want to start this garden? You go. No, you're supposed to catch that. So I'm thinking we're definitely gonna need one on the corner here. I need to make sure that these will at least reach each other. How many feet is that, give or take? 1, 2. It's like 3.5 feet, but maybe we just make it 3. We're doing real math here. And like the best part about this is that it doesn't need to be perfect. I don't really care that it's not perfectly spaced. I mean, I'm gonna do the best of my ability, but like it's meant to look kind of disheveled, you know? Okay, and then the other thing I'm thinking about is where there's gonna be a little opening. I'm gonna bring you guys over here. I thought about adding, you know, a lot of people have those garden arches or those little trellises that, you know, create an entryway. But with the arch here, and we have a lot of tall things, I didn't really want to obstruct the view of everything else. So I kind of want to keep this very low. And I think the entryway would make sense to have it like maybe here. Like, oh, look at the little gate into our garden area. Isn't that nice? Okay, gate goes here. We move on. All right, friends, voiceover Danie popping in here. I just wanted to explain that if I wasn't trying to use my pallet as the main material choice, I definitely would have used longer horizontal supports across my vertical supports, which honestly would have better supported the fence as a whole. Now, because this wasn't the case, because we're being material conscious here, I had to mark and cut the horizontals to end in the middle of each vertical post. So basically 2 horizontals will just butt up against each other. I'm aware this is not the best approach, but knowing this fence was more decorative versus functional, it was fine. Maybe down the line it could be updated if we felt this fence needed to serve a greater purpose, but this definitely provided that dainty, imperfect look that I was going for. Now, building this on my wonky land was not that fun. I mean, some of those verticals needed to be adjusted as I was adding the horizontals across it, but I don't know, I was just going by eye and fixing it by eye, and maybe that will make some people angry because I didn't really
really care. I mean, I just had this vision for this fence to be so imperfect and rickety because I wanted it to feel like it's been living on this land for a long time. I didn't care if it wasn't perfectly straight across. I wanted it to have that rickety look, so it was kind of ideal in the situation that I was in to just lean into that because it was never going to be perfect to begin with. I just want to live my life in the imperfect chaos sometimes, you know what I mean?
Good morning, friends. It took me 2 days to do the fence. I just ran out of steam yesterday and it was like 6 o'clock, and I know I'm running out of steam when I find myself just staring at it longer than I should. You know, when you're just looking at it, you're like, yeah, I like the way that looks, but then you're not moving. And then suddenly you're like, oh, I should probably go get another piece of wood. Like those moments, I'm like, no, I think I'm done. So honestly, friends, this looks so cute. I'm like, this was the vision. And you know what? It's rickety, it's quaint, but also I find that if I had gone with new material, I just don't think it would feel like it tells the same story. You know, I like that this little scene, this little rickety fence feels like it has a story to tell. And I just think that feels so much more special than, I don't know, I guess maybe it's just my style, and that's okay if it's not your style. I love the ricketiness to it. But we're not done yet. I actually want to get rid of all of the low-hanging branches, and I want to bring some lighting into this space to like really bring it all together. So let's go do all that. I'm excited. I need to take down some of these giant branches, and what I got here is a tool that I call the Cindy Lopper because it's meant to lop things off. This is a crazy tool. I love using this thing, but I also think that like in a zombie apocalypse, like this is your tool. It's got a giant saw at the end of it, so if you have long branches, you can saw them off, but it also has this rope, so if you put like if you have like a little 2-inch branch, you put this around the branch and then you go whoosh. See that? And then this blade comes down and like chops it off. I already took down one branch there, which Pop-Up is pruning for me. I want to take down all of these branches just at the lower area because it's killing the view of the greenhouse. And it's just like these branches are big. So I think we could do the tree some service, take a little bit off the bottom, you know, lighten it up for the summer. And then at least we can see the greenhouse from the deck in the morning. Let's put Cindy Lopper to work, shall we? Okay, so I'm going to stick this way up there. Oh my God, the reach on this thing. And I'm just gonna start sawing. Here we go. Woohoo! More sticks! You got more sticks! Okay, oh thank you! I needed that out of my way. That's so helpful. Friends, I just wanted to share this moment. Every time I can't find Jeffrey in the house, I always go out to the garden to look for him because I'll always find him out there just moseying around, popping his head into the tomato bushes, looking for things, pruning. I don't know, I just think it's the most adorable thing ever. It has been a day. Actually, it's been a couple days. I am so tired, but I feel like we're finally coming to the end. But I want to do the last part of my inspiration board, which was adding lights to this. I just feel like adding these outdoor lights are just going to make this space feel so magical at nighttime, and like sitting out here and looking at it, enjoying it, which is so nice because now we can actually see it, that the tree's not blocking it. But what I went and got was some string light poles. Now I ordered these off of Amazon. Ah, come back. No. I decided to just buy the poles because I was like, I don't know how well, like ideally I would put it against the fence, but the fence really isn't meant to hold anything. So I figured if I get these poles, at least they can stake into the ground and they'll be okay. And then what I got here, I actually picked these up from Canadian Tire, which is a staple here in Canada. Actually, I don't know if Canadian Tire really exists anywhere else other than Canada. And I got 2 boxes of these LED outdoor solar panel. Wow, couldn't get there. My like brain just died. These will probably need to charge up all day tomorrow before we actually see any results, but I do need to get the stakes in the ground and then we can start stringing them, and then I think we will be done. Last push! Hallelujah!
Well, DIY friends, this year has been a very transformative one for this little garden space. To think we started with just a greenhouse, then we expanded it to create an outdoor garden bed, an archway, we painted the greenhouse and just added so much charm, and now with the added upcycle fence and lights, the vision has finally come to life. I still pinch myself because never in a million years did I think I was capable of having a magical space like this in front of me. So much DIY elbow grease went into it. It wasn't easy, but every bit of time felt worth it because no one can take away the feeling that I have when I step into my secret garden. Thank you for coming along this journey with me and sharing in my love for this garden space. Big shout out to my Patreon friends. Thank you for your love and support. I couldn't have done it without you guys. If you are looking for a community of DIYers to share your love and passions, come on and join us. The link is in my description box. And of course, stay positive, stay creative, and keep on DIYing. Bye-bye.